research in helping the body to heal itself. And that is exactly what our medical director, Dr. Behi Diaz, that's what he did. And so we've got products that literally are 40 years in their research and development, 10 years being used by millions of people. And basically, what do? Each one of them has its own part in helping the body to heal itself. So let's talk a little bit about the products. We'll start with the second one there that you can see on the screen, the Blage. Blage basically is a patented formula, and it has what is called ORAD enzyme 3. Well, it was 3. It has been elevated to ORAD enzyme 5 now. Antioxidants, millions and millions of antioxidants in a nano size so that they can go straight through, listen to me carefully, straight through the blood-brain barrier and straight through the cell walls at the microcellular level. Okay, is that someone getting into the line? But the bottom line is they literally go through the cell walls, microcellular, straight into the DNA, and the body begins to heal itself. Are you listening to me? It helps the body with energy production. This energy production literally is what it's all about. Without energy, your body can't do any of the processes that it needs to do. So it helps with blood circulation. Leviticus 17:11 tells us that the life of the flesh is in the blood. So without circulation, you're not getting good life. So again, we're talking about it helping the blood to circulate at the microcellular level, helping the cells to hydrate at the cellular level. So now we've got more blood flowing. We've got antioxidants, which is food value, straight into the system. What does it do? Well, one of the reasons that our immune system doesn't work the way that it's supposed to is simply because it's not getting enough nutrients. Remember, in order for anything to happen in our bodies, we must have nutrients. The antioxidants that we're talking about are literally from the nutrients of the fermented rosemary and olive leaf. So once the immune system is fed, then it can begin to do what it's supposed to do. It makes more white cells, more T cells, more helper cells, more macrophage. Macrophage simply means large eater. And this way the body can begin to do what? Heal itself. So Blage, and it's even been proven, I don't know if you were on our call, when we actually looked at the in vivo studies that had been done where the ingredients and the power of the Blage literally stopped the viral cells from making the proteins that they needed to do what? To replicate, duplicate, and this brought the virus to a halt. It was actually shown in the studies on paper, folks, scientifically proven with human beings and not with lab rats, that we actually, the Blage literally helped the body to do what? To halt and arrest the virus down to 83.9%, which is almost 84%, which means that it basically annihilated it. It caused it to do what? Actually implode. And on the screen here, you can see, we'll go back to the other screen that we just looked at, the first one. Go back to the other screen right here. If you look here, you'll see that it says the antiviral activity of Blage. In any infection, the influenza, whatever disease it may be, when these viruses enter into the system, they enter into the system, and what happens? They begin to use something that's called 3CL. It's literally an enzyme, a viral enzyme. And with that, they can make this red protein that you see there. And this protein literally is what the viral cells need in order to feed and to replicate, duplicate, have babies, and just make millions and millions of viral cells into the human body. But we'll look at the second figure, and we see that this individual has been taking the Blage, he's been ingesting it, he or she, and their system is full of it. And what it does is it goes right to to where you see the 3CL line there. That simply means the protein, the enzyme is there, but the Blage dissipates, it causes it to disappear. And then you'll see that red protein disappearing. In other words, the viral cell cannot make the protein that it needs to grow and to replicate and duplicate. And so what happens? The viral cell dies. Are you all getting me? Are you all listening to me? Do you see what we're talking about? So again, it simply says that Blage inhibits the protease 3CL, which is the enzyme. And when it can't be made, then the virus cannot make its protein so that it can keep replicating, which basically says what? That Blage helps the body to build the immune system to the point where it dissolves and keeps the viral cell from replicating. So it brings the virus or the viral cell or whatever, it brings it down to a halt. If you can hear what we're saying, folks, this is powerful. This is powerful. This is an actual test that was done with human beings. Okay, we go to the other slide. It simply says Sankey tested Balaj against several viruses. The enzyme 3CL-Pro is necessary for the production of functional protein by the virus, which is what we said. But the proteins needed were not produced. Instead, more white cells were produced, and these cells kept the viral system from functioning. It literally stopped it from replicating, stopped it from making all of these viral cells. And as you look, you'll see on the second half of it that because of it stopping the viral cells from being able to replicate, you see that the cells begin to do what? Come back to life again. The living cells begin to reproduce. The viral cells are reduced. And it actually was shown that it reduced the presence of the viral cells by over 83.9%. That's 84%. That means it brought them to a stop. It arrested them. It caused them to implode, to disintegrate. Are you listening to me? This is powerful, folks. All we're talking about is formulations that simply help the body to do what? What God designed for it to do. And that is what? To heal itself. Okay, we'll go back to our screen looking at the other product. The other product that we'll see is called Inner 7. Inner 7 is simply minerals that the body needs. One of the reasons why the immune system is down because it's been depleted of minerals. It's actually lost minerals because of the processes of the body and because of the fact that we don't eat foods anymore that contain lots and lots of minerals, especially sea minerals in a lot of cases, iodine and so forth, magnesium. They're more plentiful in sea vegetation. We don't get enough of it. Well, Inner 7 has actually been taken from over 321 meters in the sea, down deep. That's almost 3.5 football fields. And it has all the living anemone and sea urchins. These sea creatures, well, actually they're plants, have been proven to live over 200 years. Why? Because they make their own enzymes and they make their own antioxidants. Well, guess what? That's what the body was designed to do, was to make its own antioxidants. But it doesn't do it anymore because of what? The lack of minerals. So here we go. With the minerals that we find in the Inner 7 simply says balance. Okay, we're balancing the body at 7 point on the pH scale. So what does that mean? That means that at 7, the body is able to do what it needs to do. It's at rest, it's at peace, it's at homeostasis, it's at its point of self-regulation. So the body is relaxed, our digestion picks up, the bowels move like they're supposed to because, again, the body is balanced and it knows what to do. And this also helps to increase millions and millions of the antioxidants and the white cells that we need to go in and do the defense for the body. So Inner 7 helps to balance the body, bring it to homeostasis. And when this happens, the immune system fights like it's designed to fight. So we're just seeing why the products are not designed to literally go and heal, but instead to help the body do what? Heal itself. Next to this, you'll see Cronu Fire. And in just a moment, we're going to do this. We just wanted to tell you what they were. Then we're going to open up to answer questions because so many of you out there around the world have all these questions about health that you ought to know that someone hasn't told you. And we're going to see if we can get some information to you today. So Cronu Fire, again, is another patented formula. This formula literally has what it takes to help the body go through thermogenesis, which is to burn. It's been put together with fermented cacao, and these enzymes simply cause the body to burn fats, sugars, starchy products, and so forth. Burn them at night when you're asleep. So the body is resting, it's doing what it needs to do, and without disturbing it, these products help the body to digest all the excess fats and the excess that cause so much problem in our bodies. Again, it helps get rid of the fatty tissues. It helps us to literally get rid of excess calories that cause all the problems in our bodies because it burns them up at night while we're asleep. So we're talking again about products that are designed to do what? Help the body heal itself. When that happens, the immune system goes to work and the body regenerates. Hasaki, the first on the left, you'll see is simply a meal replacement. It has over 596 metabolites. What are metabolites? Metabolites are simply the end result of metabolism. You eat good, nutritious foods, and what the body does, it takes and it makes metabolites that go in and feed all of the cells of the body at the mitochondrial level. Well, when we don't eat like we're supposed to, which most people don't eat right now, most of us are eating at Mickey D's and Captain D's and Wendy's and one of these and some of these and all of these. Now that was meant to make you smile a little bit, okay? But I want you to just think, we're eating at all these places, okay? That and if you're not getting a nice big salad and a nice big slaw to go with it, then you're eating foods that literally destroy the immune system. And when that happens, what happens? The body is open for disease, even viruses, okay? The Asaki literally helps with protein absorption of over 20 more than you normally would get. And it sends energy to the trillions of mitochondria, which are the power cells in the body. And the body begins to energize, strengthen, and that also increases the strength in the immune system. So 4 products, basically designed patented formulas that have been proven in over the last 10 years of these products being used all overseas. And again, they're just getting to the United States, folks. So you're in the right place at the right time. You'll be able to help with the reversing, the recovering, and the restoring of millions of people's lives, folks. And that's a powerful thing to be a part of. So we've talked about the products and what they do. Basically, they help. Don't miss this. Don't miss this. Don't miss this. Their job solely is to help the body rebuild itself, help the immune system to rebuild, help to get more antioxidants in the body, help to strengthen the cells and the organs so they can begin to carry out the function that they were designed to do. And that was basically to what? To defend the body against anything that shouldn't be inside, to strengthen it to the point where it could literally heal itself. So what we're going to do now, Dr. Ruth Ann, are you still there?
Yes, I am, sir. Yes, I am. I'm here.
No, we've had all these questions coming in, and I talk about it all the time. Because anytime you can get me, you call me. We try to answer the questions. Now we've got so many people from around the world on the call. Let's see if we can answer some of those questions. So if you want to give them to me by God's grace, let's see what we can do to give some input.
Okay, one of the first questions that was coming in just recently was gallstones, kidney stones. Like, how can we assist with that?
Okay, well, first of all, gallstones and kidney stones, believe it or not, are mainly formed from the excess cholesterol and fat in the body that joins with the minerals that are not the best minerals, the minerals that come from, guess what? Some of the water that we're drinking, okay? That's the wrong minerals that come out of the ground. These are the minerals that are literally hardened. But that, along with especially cholesterol, it's called atherosclerotic plaque, literally clogs up the system to the point where these little stones begin to form, just like pearls forming in an oyster, okay? And they just continue to build up with the more cholesterol that's added to it, and to the point where we've got stones. And they can be dissolved, they can be removed, but what they need the right kind of minerals to help with their dissolving. And that's what you find in the Belage, that's what you find in the Inner 7. So these can literally go in and help those gallstones to begin to dissolve, because it helps the liver with more function. The liver literally can help remove these things, but the liver needs good nutrition. It needs these antioxidants. It needs these enzymes to help dissolve those gallstones. So, of course, making sure that they're drinking pure water, purified water, distilled water, purified water will help tremendously. And then using the Sankey products that are designed to help dissolve and remove things that don't belong. The body will actually, over a period of time, get rid of the stones, and then we can always help with that. We'll post up what we call a gallbladder flush that everybody should have anyway. We'll get that posted as soon as we can, Dr. Ruth Ann, and okay. They'll have this little thing they can do at home and get rid of gallstones in 24 hours at home, naturally. Okay.
Okay, we have another question that just came in on the chat. Liver cancer and how can our products help?
Okay. Bottom line, it's we
We
keep
want to see
saying
your face, Dr. Franco. Put the camera back down.
that. Okay. Let's see. Can you see me on the other camera now?
Okay,
You see
yes,
me?
we can see you. Perfect. Yes.
Okay. I've got the laptop and the phone. I kept laying the phone down. Okay. I'm getting used to it. You all are teaching me this multimedia stuff, and I'm an old dog that'll learn new tricks. So hang with me. I appreciate it. Okay. So the question is liver and cancer. Remember, cancer. What is cancer? Cancer is a virus. AIDS is a virus. The corona is a virus. What does AIDS mean? I mean, the system puts it right in our faces. AIDS simply means what? Acquired immune deficiency syndrome. So all cancer is a weakened immune system. So what is the story? What do we got to do? We've got to do what? We've got to rebuild the immune system. If you can just hear that, how do we do it? We do it with products like the Balage, the Inner 7, the Crenu that are going to do what? They're going to go in, they're going to cleanse the body at the microcellular level. That's down at the level. Remember, any virus, any disease is going to start where? In the cells. So if we go to the cellular level, microcellular level, begin to flush out the cells, begin to burn out poisons and toxins, infuse millions and millions of nano-sized antioxidants, which is what cancer is doing. It's oxidizing, it's literally eating up the cells, and it's replicating and so forth. But when we put in all these good products, they literally help the body to do what? Rebuild that immune system. That immune system will go and it will destroy viruses, cancers, cells, tumors. It doesn't matter. That's how God's body is designed to work, heal itself. And we're talking about Balage, Inner 7, and Crenu, which do exactly that. They feed the body with what it needs to strengthen and go out and do its work. The white cells, the T cells, the macrophage, the helper cells, they go out and they scavenge, they find these tumors or what have you, they attach to them, begin to eat away at them. Then if you're eating correctly, drinking correctly, then what will the body do? It will remove it through the urinary tract. It will remove it through the bowels. You'll perspire it out, you'll spit it out, you'll blow it out. Cell by cell, bit by bit, the body will heal itself, even with liver cancer.
Okay, awesome. So what would be for this, so that we can finish this topic, how would we combine the products and how many times a day? Would you suggest all of the products for someone that's going through this? Or what would be the combination and how many times a day?
Okay, we want to make sure they do understand that they've got to eat live foods. Okay, we can't just do supplements only, but these supplements are designed to go straight into the cells and immediately cause the flushing out of the cells and the energizing of the cells so that the body can begin to build. But I would say the Balage in the morning with the Inner 7 and the Crenu at night, the way it's designed to. But in case of catastrophic situations, I would do the Balage in the Inner 7 maybe 2 or 3 times a day to keep the cells inundated and flushed with things that are going to remove waste and that are going to put in antioxidant and nutrition that'll help to even build their immune system even stronger.
Okay, another question that's come in was that, let's see, how does the combination of Inner 7 and Balage work in conjunction to help protect persons from the virus, example, the coronavirus?
Okay, well, a virus is a virus is a virus. And we've got an in vivo test, okay? We've got a test that's actually been done. I think they ran the test from maybe February up to March, or no, was it December up to February, right? And which is just several weeks ago. And it was proven that, I mean, you showed it on the screen a minute ago, that literally out of 200, I think they took 200 people and they took half, did the placebo, the other half did the Balage. And what actually happened there, they actually showed that, let's let pictures worth 1,000 words. If we can get that back up, we'll let them see. So it won't just be Dr. Franco talking. If we could go to the screen that shows where some took the placebo and the others, get that. Bear with us just for a second, folks. We'd actually like you to see what was done. Okay, if you see here, it says in vitro testing, double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trial of 200 men and women between the ages of 32 and 52. They were recruited and asked to either consume 1 stick of Belage or 1 stick of a placebo every day from December the 1st, 2019 to March 2020. Occurrences of influenza A, influenza B was diagnosed using nasopharyngeal swab and recorded. Gastroenteritis was diagnosed when at least 2 symptoms present, say nausea or vomiting or diarrhea or fever were there, okay? And this is what they found. They found that Belage reduced the impact of influenza A 50.5%. It reduced the impact of influenza B 67.8%, and it reduced gastroenteritis by over 46%. There it is right there in front of you, folks. These are actual tested, proven procedures. So again, how does it work? Well, it helps to build the immune system, boost the immune system, and the immune system itself will arrest and contain any virus, not just coronavirus. We're not picking on, we're not trying to say that, we're just simply saying that when the immune system is strong, it will arrest and remove any outsider, including bacteria, germs, and viruses.
Okay, we have another question that came in on the chat privately. Yeah. What would help persons with MS? Now, I personally know this, but I want you to tell them, because for those that don't know, the disability that I have, or ability, because I don't like to even call it a disability, it basically is the cousin of MS. But please share with us, please.
Okay, well, once again, we're talking about the dissipating or the disintegrating of cells in the body, muscle tissue, bone tissue, nerve tissue. And again, the Belage has been proven, even in cases of where the sheath around the nerves has literally begun to disintegrate. And so we're not getting good synapses between the nerves, and same thing in the muscles and so forth, that once you put back in the necessary nutrients to help the body rebuild 1 cell at a time, it will actually rebuild the sheath on the outside of the nerve. It'll actually help to reform muscle. And when we get, in just a second, I'm going to turn Dr. Ruth Ann loose for a moment just to tell, because I remember looking at her leg when we were down in Miami, and let me tell you, there was a gap between her knee and the back part of her leg. It was sunken in. And she's been using the Belage for several months, and it has filled back out. So I'm just saying what I'm saying. This is not what we heard about, what we saw on TV, or what we read in the newspaper. This is what we saw happen to individuals that we personally know. So again, when the body is given the nutrients, antioxidants, metabolites, the things that it needs, God's body begins to mend and heal itself, even with MS, even with sickle cell. I've seen sickle cell where the cells were like this, and that person might still have the trait, but with nutrients in the body, the cell began to do what? Straighten back out. So that, yes, they still might have had the trait under there somewhere, but they didn't have to deal with the symptoms because the body began to heal itself. And that's what these products are designed to do. Give the body what it needs to start regenerating and healing, even in a case of multiple sclerosis. I didn't know if you wanted to say a little something, Ruth Ann. I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. Like Dr. Franco said, when he saw me physically, because I've heard about him for years, but when everybody saw me physically in November, literally I had to be lifted, which I hated. Oh, I hated it. But anyway, I had to be lifted, and literally there was a gap in my leg. I used to call it a drumstick. You know, in the Bahamas, they call myself mango skinned, and I used to like wear my shorts. But after my atrophied muscle in my leg, it was like, I ain't wearing no shorts. Your leg look kind of funky because it looks like a chicken bone. And I remember my brother used to come in my room and he'd be like, oh, Ruth Ann, the way you're sitting in the bed, your arm is pushing down up above your knee and you're causing your muscle to weaken. And I was like, no, that's not the case. And I spoke to my therapist about it, and she had told me, yes, your muscle is atrophied and it's not going to really grow back. You have get to be walking. And once you're walking, then we might see something happen. And I remember calling Dr. Franco one day and I was like, Dr. Franco, is there a possibility that these products in any way, shape, or form could build muscle? So he's like, yeah, they do it. You know, the process is definitely something that it can do because it opens the cell, and he just kept on, giving me the medical part of it. And I said, no, Dr. Franco, I'm trying to tell you, I'm watching the muscle on my leg come back because, guys, when I used to sit here, literally it was sunken in, completely sunken in. And so I kind of believed what my brother said because he was like, oh, you put your arm on your lap and your leg is going in. Guys, it's coming back. It's not 100%, but like I told Dr. Franco, I have found a video to be able to show people the difference. Because even my caregiver was like, oh, Miss Ruth Ann, I didn't see it how it was before. I only see it now. But guys, it's absolutely amazing. So another question, a few more questions have come onto the chat. And so I'm going to say let me finish the question regarding the MS. They're saying, should it be Balage and N7 for MS? Now, I can say, Dr. Franco, that I've been taking all 4 products.
All 4.
And so the protein, I feel like I noticed a big difference when I started taking the Hasaki, like a huge difference. Like everything started building, like instantly. I can also say for my friend Donna Lee in Nassau, her son, the same thing. The Balage, the Inner 7, and the Hasaki were amazing for me. And I have, neuromyelitis optica, which is the myelin sheath, which has to do also with MS. So I don't know if that answers the question, but Dr. Franco, please, you can elaborate on that if I'm mistaken, please.
No, that's absolutely true. The bottom line is when we talk about the Balage and the Quinu and the Inner 7, we're talking about those that work with the immune system and so forth, but you still got to put food in. And so a good nutritious food. So that's where the Hasaki comes in, because it has over 596 metabolites. That's instant food, instant fuel for the body to begin to rebuild and to do what it needs to do. And the Hasaki helps with over a 20% increase in the absorption of protein. So yes, this would help to build the muscle, rebuild the tissue, rebuild the bones, so forth, so on, and it would help it to happen quickly. So absolutely, all 4 of the products during a case of rebuilding would be necessary and would be suggested. Absolutely.
Okay, another question that just came in on the chat was, which products may remove pituitary adenoma?
That's a good one. What's the spelling of the what are we saying? Is that skin or
ADENOMA?
I got the adenoma, but what was it? Oh, pituitary. So yes, you got a problem with the pituitary gland. Well, once again, if it's yellow like a duck, has webbed feet and quacks, it's a duck. Disease is disease is disease. And instead of just trying to say, well, this heals this, no. The body heals itself. It doesn't matter what it is. All of us have cuts on our skin. Sometimes they were deep cuts and they were pussy, stuff coming out of them, and they just looked awful. But then after a while, without you doing anything, they begin to clear. And they began to come up to the level of the skin again. And then they scabbed over. And then the scab came off and the skin turned pink, and before long, it completely replaced itself. Well, it's the same thing with diseases. Trillions and trillions of white cells are created by using the right types of foods and the right supplements. And when that happens, the body begins to check, regulate itself. So it doesn't matter what's going on, what kind of pituitary gland, whether it's the thyroid, it doesn't matter. The body is going to heal itself when we give it what it needs. If we give it what it needs in high proportions, it can do it even better and even faster.
Okay, another question that came across, and I know the answer because you and I have done a live on this before regarding breastfeeding moms. They want to know, can they take the Balage and the Inner 7? And I know before you said that, a lot of mothers, they lose so much nutrition in giving birth that the products are amazing for revitalizing and restoring all the nutrition that has been lost during that time. But please go ahead.
Okay, absolutely. Before, during, and after, conception, carrying the baby for 9 months, delivery of the baby breast milk, all of the processes during this situation are helped by good nutrition. That's exactly what we're getting by healing modalities. When the body is strengthened, when it's healed, when it's nourished, when it's hydrated, when it has the things in it to help more energy, then it's going to work. And that's what all the products are designed to do. Belage has all the antioxidants. The Canoe has what it takes to burn the excess fats and sugar, so there's no waste in the blood and the milk and so forth. And then we've got the Hasaki that feeds. So yes, the entire system is designed to help a mother expecting, carrying, or actually feeding her child. So absolutely, these products are designed to help for a healthy mom and a healthy baby.
Okay, another question that in general, because I know you and I spoke about this, like you've spoken about it literally basically the whole entire call, but what is an immune system? Because that seems to be keep on repeating itself. Like what is this immune system? Like what are we dealing with here? Like I need that clarification, and I'm sure our viewing listeners want to know, because everybody says, oh, your immune system, if it's low, you can get it quicker, all this different stuff. What is an immune system, and how can our products help with the immune system?
Okay, maybe I can help with this. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, while Christ was on the earth, that God sent forth his angels to pluck out all things that offended. So that means that Christ was protected, okay? But then the Bible also says that I have placed my kingdom within you. So if that kingdom took care of him, what's the kingdom that he placed inside of us? I'm saying that it's the white blood cells, the immune system itself. And what does it do? It scavenges through the body, and it does what? Gathers and plucks out all things that offend. So again, it's the immune system. It's the immune system. It's the immune system. God placed in our bodies trillions of cells, white cells, T cells, B cells, helper cells, macrophage. Macrophage means large eater. It means that these cells go through the body, they find something there that doesn't belong, and they grab it. And if you're eating properly with a lot of fiber, it'll come out through the bowels. If you're drinking lots of pure water, then it'll come out through the urinary tract. You'll perspire some of it out. Okay, you'll spit it out. You'll blow it out. It'll come out through all the eliminating channels in the body. And that's the way the body gets rid of things. It literally destroys them within with the white cells, then it removes them outside of the body. So again, it's so simple. God placed in his body, in this body, something that would keep it perpetual, keep it healing itself, and keep it going for many years. Actually forever in the beginning, but again, at least 110, 115 like they're doing in Japan. And again, all of our products are based on that Japanese model of why people live so long in Japan, because they're eating and they're getting these fermented things into their body that literally do what? Build up healthy bacteria so the body can heal itself and become almost a perpetual motion machine. So that's what the immune system is. It's all these cells placed in the body, trillions and trillions of white cells, and their job is when something enters the body that doesn't belong, they go to work defending and removing any enemy in the body, whether it's a germ, a bacteria, or a virus. It doesn't matter. The body was designed by God to heal itself. And what Sankey is doing is spend all these 50 years designing products that will do what? Help the body to regenerate, restore, and recover itself. Absolutely.
Over the chat, what are in these products that make them work better than the natural food? Example, fruits and nuts and grains, just to name a few. I'd love the answer to that, but I know what it's going to be, but go ahead.
Okay. There's nothing in them that really makes them work better. What it is how they were designed. They're designed in what's called a nanotechnology. The nanotechnology means that when you eat food and nutrition, you have the best food, organic fruits, vegetables, whatever, but your body, you still have to chew it. It has to be broken down. then the hydrochloric acid in the stomach has to mix with it, and this helps it to break down even further. Then it has to go through the colon, 26 feet of small intestine, 9 feet of large. It has to go all the way through, be absorbed, and then finally, they can use it. In the case of these products, that doesn't have to happen. With the nanotechnology, these nutrients, these micronutrients are taken straight through the cell wall, straight through the blood-brain barrier, straight into the system, and begin to work immediately. And that is what Dr. Behi Diaz did. He designed products that work, but that would work in cases where the people might not be eating so well, to give them a jump start to where they could have time to get to the point where they could eat better. It went straight into the cells, straight into the blood-brain barrier, immediately began to cause the body to do what? Reverse, recover, and restore itself.
Okay, someone asked a question, and I guess you can answer for everybody. What are in the products, and what are the ingredients in the products?
What are the products and what are the ingredients?
No, sorry, what are the ingredients in the products? What are the ingredients in the products?
They're patented enzymes, patented antioxidants that come from the fermentation of foods that have been around on the planet for years and years, because that's what our body does. When we eat food, the body uses the stomach acids and so forth to ferment these foods and turn them into living fighting mechanisms in the body, healing mechanisms in the body. So what the scientific technology by Dr. Behi Diaz and all of his staff, what they've done is they've taken olive leaves, rosemary, cacao, black bean, and they've taken it through a cold fermentation process and literally reduced it to nano size so that it can go straight into the system and begin to heal the body, feed the body, nourish the body, and build the immune system for the body.
Okay, another question came in on the chat. If someone is suffering with cancer in their womb, they have decided they've decided to stop chemo and only to do home remedies. How can we assist with our products? How can they assist with the process of helping this individual?
Okay. When you get into cancer, you see there are a lot of other things that need to happen, not just the products. I'm not going to sit here and say the person's going to get well and get rid of cancer simply because they take the Sankey products. There are other things. I've been doing this 40 years, and there are other things that need to happen. They need steam treatments, heat treatments. They need hot and cold. They need a lot of other things to happen to the body. But the bottom line is, again, we're talking about the immune system. If the immune system is built up, then the body is going to heal itself. And so whether it's going to work for everybody or not, I don't know. It depends on where they are in the stage of whatever cancer or disease they may have, how degenerated the body is. But the key is the body will start immediately trying to heal itself if we give it the things it needs. And Sankey just happens to have products that are all designed and formulated with patented formulas designed to feed and heal the immune system, and the immune system will regenerate and heal the body, remove, arrest, put in captivity all the things that don't belong there. Hope I'm making sense, because you've got all these diseases. You got a physician's desk reference full of diseases, thousands of them, but there's basically only two diseases. That is indigestion and constipation. The diseases we're talking about are just symptoms of an immune system that's depressed, and a digestive system that's not working, and an elimination system that's not working. So when you get the poisons and toxins out of the body, when you put in the nutrients that's needed, the immune system works and the body basically heals itself. Not trying to duck, but it's just that cancer, all these different sicknesses and diseases are just enemies of God's body. And God's body is designed to get rid of all of them, to arrest all of them, put them all under control. And the Sankey products are just designed to help the body do that. And they're the only products of their type. They're 40 years actually 50 years now in their research and development, 10 years of being used by millions and millions of people, working and in vivo tests proving that they do just that. They rebuild the immune system, and the immune system can get rid of whatever doesn't belong, including viruses.
Okay, we had one more question regarding infertility and how, like, with
Okay.
the womb and how, like, if they're not able to get pregnant,
Okay.
like, what's going
Okay.
on there?
Well, again, all sicknesses and diseases are lack of nutrients, and but when we talk about fertility, most of us have tum tums. We have what we call a pooch down here below the navel, and folks, that's not fat. That is do. Please hear me. A lot of us have as much as 30, 40, 50 pounds of this waste in our bodies, and that waste causes the colon to literally sink down and press down on the lower organs. So it could be the prostate, it could be the fallopian tubes, the uterus, what have you. But when it does that, it can cause cycles to be off. Most cycle problems come from too much waste in the body pressing against the system so that it can't flow and clean at the time of the month when it's supposed to. But the same thing with pregnancy. You've got, I can't turn this, maybe I can. I don't know if you can. They both have to be working the same time, I guess. But the fallopian tubes, you've got one here and one over here, say, and this stuff is mashing down on them, so they can't remove the waste, and they can't receive even the semen that's coming in during the putting together of what it takes to make a baby. Okay, but the bottom line is, once the waste comes off, it comes out off of the top of the organ can begin to do what it needs to do. And I found that women, I've had women come in who tried 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years and couldn't conceive. And just a few months after beginning to clean, keep getting their bowels open, moving 2, 3 good times a day, they were able to actually conceive. And I've seen this happen maybe in 60 to 70% of the people that have come to me with that problem. Once they open up the bowels, after a short space, they were able to conceive and have babies without having to have C-sections. I've had people come to me who had to have C-sections, and once they cleared their body and cleaned out, they were able to actually have a baby without a C-section. That's correct.
Wow, this has been an absolutely amazing call. And so what I want to do right now is, if anyone is on the call that has any questions, that didn't want to open it in the chat, if you have any questions, you can unmute your line and just ask the question to this phenomenal individual, Dr. Franco, and he'll be able to answer it. So does anybody have any questions before we close out?
Dr. Franco, this is Tim Trahan, sir. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How's it going? Money Man Trahan, how are you, my dear brother?
Oh, man, I'm doing super fantastic. I don't have a question. I just had a comment. Awesome call as usual. Very informative. Got a lot of stuff that I guess bullets that I can arm myself with in this war against, sickness, illness, and disease. Just fantastic, man. I appreciate everything that you do and how you pour into us on these Saturday mornings. You could be doing so many other things, but you take the time out every Saturday morning to have these informative calls and to allow us to have something that we can, go back out there and actually talk to folks that we know, love, and care about exactly what our products are doing for them. And I just want to say I appreciate you. Thank you so much for what you do.
I appreciate that comment. And since you've said that, I just want everybody to know I'm actually at a church. My mentor has come down from the hills of Tennessee, and he's delivering right now outside. I'm going to be joining him in just a second. But he's talking about this virus. He's helping us to put together our own form of hand sanitizers, actually disinfectant sprays that will kill they say 99.9%. How about more than that? Okay. And that you can actually put in vaporizers in your room to make sure that your house has in the air nice smelling, all natural disinfectant, okay, that will actually knock viruses out. And so we'll be talking about that the base of the morning, and I'll make sure that we'll get that formula put together, shortened, made simple, and again we'll get that posted up so that all the Sankey partners can get that to use at this time when everybody's so afraid of something that really we can deal with if we're careful and if we're diligent to do the things that we know to do that we've been shown.
And Dr. Franco,
but thank you so much.
A question just came over the chat, and so this will be our last for right now. Until next week, how much of the product do I have to use or take to get my body regulated and to eat natural again? Was the
Okay, the
question.
bottom line is you can't, supplements are supplements. Supplement means what? In addition to, you still got to do your part. So time, I don't know. It depends on how diligent they are. They need to start eating live food with every meal, need to start drinking lots of fresh water, exercise, rest. They need to do their thing first. We're not going to say that Sankey is the answer to all ills, not if you're not going to do your part. They will help even if you're not doing it correctly, but somewhere along the way, you got to start doing your part. So how long it'll take, it'll be up to them and how diligent they are. If you want to use the Belage once in the morning, along with the Inner 7 and the Canoe at night, and do your shake during the day, fine. But if you double that up, it'll happen even quicker. So they're the doctor, they're the nutritionist. They've got to decide how it's working for them. And if they want to speed it up, they can just double up. But they have to kind of work their own program out. We've been so used to being told what to do by the doctors that the scriptures tell us, physician, heal thyself. You've got something in your hands to use it well, see how it works, and then you can kind of glide through the woods yourself on which way it should be, whether I should double up, triple up, or whatever I need to do. So they literally just need to get the product, start using it, start eating better, and then design their lives so that they take care of themselves and they live a higher quality of life, then pass it on to others. Because again, this is an opportunity to help the world to actually reverse, recover, restore its health and its wealth. And it's been a plum pleasing pleasure being on the call with all of you all today.
I was just about to say, it's a plum pleasing pleasure to have you on the call with us, Dr. Franco. Absolutely amazing, as usual. And listen, guys, like King Trahan said, this is now ammunition that you have in your pocket that you can go out and use. This call has been recorded, and we do have a few announcements. So just give me 1 second. But we just want to say thank you, Dr. Franco, because as usual, you pour out everything to us, and you don't have to, but you do. And we really, really appreciate that. But remember, we do have a 12 noon call, which is in 6 minutes. We also have a call at 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. And we do this every single day, guys. And no, we're not saying get on every call, but we are saying we have these calls available to you. We do also have a Sunday night training at 8 p.m. where some big announcements regarding how persons can get up products for free and receive a 4-day supply of products. So get on these calls, 8 p.m., big announcement on Sunday. We have a call at 6 p.m. tonight, 9 p.m. tonight, and again tomorrow, 12 noon, 6 p.m., 9 p.m. every single day. Yes, guys, we're doing it just for you to make sure that you can win. Do you hear me? We are here to serve you and make sure that you can win. There's no excuses here in this season. So thank you so much for getting on. We appreciate it. And like my mentor always says, I love you, but God loves you best. Have a great one, guys.
Man.